Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People. With your day after, let's talk about it show. This Carolina Panthers team, man, they had such a close game yesterday playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lost that one in overtime by a spectacular, I won't say spectacular field goal. It was just a regular field goal, but it was one that gave us a loss. Gosh darn it, the heck. But the Carolina Panthers lost that one yesterday. Fall to 3-9, and yeah, we're here to talk about it. So I apologize for the tardiness, as I had some kind of brain fart where I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, about 8 o'clock is when I go live, and it's like, when have I ever gone live at 8 o'clock? It's always go live at 7 o'clock. That way, once Monday Night Football comes on, we can all kick back, sit back, watch Monday Night Football, yada, yada, yada. So, my bad. But I couldn't let the day go by without doing the broadcast for you guys. So, and then I also messed up by not scheduling it early so you guys had a notification. Again, me, bonehead me. But enough talking about me and the mistakes I made. Carolina Panthers, next up. Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I have not checked the forecast for that. I'm gonna do that right now, because one thing about this channel and our shows, the live broadcasts are cool. I love doing it. I think it's a unique angle to cover the team. But when you're covering a team and you're doing live shows and it's cold outside, it's a little challenging. It's a little challenging. So I wonder what it's going to be like for me this Sunday in Philadelphia. So current forecast says, this is not too bad, right? It says a high of 47 and a low of 34. That's not too far from what I think it was this Sunday here in Charlotte. I really think we were close to that. And the game this past Sunday in Charlotte was a 4 o'clock game, which means we had all that lack of daylight time to cover. This one will have some daylight. So, yeah, of course, stay tuned, like to plug in. Got an upcoming interview this week. That guy's supposed to be Eddie Pinheiro. I say supposed to because it's other things that have to go on logistically. I got the hiccups. For that to happen, hopefully that will happen. And then, of course, we'll be in Philadelphia this weekend covering the team. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what you guys have here in the comments. Let me make one more adjustment here. I got the hiccup, so let me drink a little bit of water. Good gracious. All right, let's go through this. What's happening, Chris? Hope all is well. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. What's going on, Knucklehead? I feel lucky because I had the chance to see Knucklehead K 2 weekends in a row without planning. I think the first time it was planned because Knucklehead came by where we were broadcasting at. Yesterday, I saw her as I was going in the gate. So I think that was just more spontaneous, coolness, planets aligning kind of thing. So thanks for your support always, Knucklehead K, for being a member. You know, we got to give our members the extra props. Excuse me. Should have muted the microphone. But, yeah, thanks for your membership and also saying hello. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving as well. Didn't eat too much, or if you did, congratulations. You spoiled yourself with a little bit of eating on Thanksgiving. What's up, Shaqued? Chris, I guess Evero, Eddie, and Chuba gave you the green light to do the show. What do you mean? Why would they not? Why would they not? Of course, I always have the green light to do the show. Again, tonight, I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't, because I went to the gym at like 6:15-ish, which is totally, just everything was totally backwards. But I'm here, and we're going to talk about it as much as you all want to talk about it, and whatever you want to talk about. So that is the part I forgot to say. This show is 100% driven by you all, the viewers, whether you type a comment, whether you want to click on the link in the description to join the show, which is always what I hope that you do. And always my favorite is when you guys come on the show, so I get a chance to see you and talk to you and interact directly with you. And all the topics. I have no things that I'm going to talk about. The show's driven by you. So hopefully you enjoy it, and we'll continue to rock on to it. Talk about whatever you all want to talk about. It's a little hot up here. I feel like I'm all over the place. So if you're saying Chris seems like he's all over the place, I feel like I'm all over the place. Why do I get notice when you're live in my mentions? Can you further explain? Why do you get a notice when I need some explanation on that question. I don't completely get it. I'd love to answer it for you though. What's going on, Tony Paul Mary? Man of the people, hope your day is going well. Sending good vibes from Canada. I appreciate the good vibes from Canada. And you guys are going to laugh at me, but I need to. There we go. Bye. Good vibes from Canada. I have not been to Canada. I want to go to Canada. I don't care what part of Canada that I go to. When we went to Buffalo, I think it's been two places. Seattle, Washington, I believe. I feel like we weren't far from Buffalo. I'm sorry. Geez, what did I just say? All these thoughts just collided in my head. Seattle, Washington wasn't far from Canada. I believe also, definitely, when I went to Detroit, I felt like an idiot because I think maybe at one point when I landed, my service picked up a signal from Canada and I got this Roman country advisory. But I've been unknowingly close to Canada several times and I have not been there. So I think I'm going to do a better job next year. I'm going to make a point to, if there's travel, I'm going to do my research on the map. And if there's a chance for me to go to Canada, I'm going to go to Canada so I could. Do you need a passport to go to Canada? I feel like you don't need a passport. Let me know, do you need a passport? And as you see, these topics don't all have to be football related because I really just enjoy meeting the community that supports me and getting to know one another. So it doesn't have to be 100% football. Personal questions and deviations are perfectly fine, except for I stay away from the whole political stuff. So if you want to talk about Joe Biden pardoning his son, we're not going to talk about it here. Appreciate you, Tony. Taylor Sheridan. And if I say anybody's name incorrectly, please feel free to correct me. What's going on? Knucklehead K say, are you going to PA? Absolutely, positively, 100%. I grew up basically down the street from Philadelphia. So have a lot of familiarity with the city, with the team, with the sports, with the environment. And it's always a chance for me to go home and see everybody. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of an extended trip up. I'll be there Friday. And I'll come back Monday. Usually I go up Saturday. Try to come back Sunday, which is not often able to happen. But yeah, going up to Philadelphia, pregame show, 11 a.m., live from Philadelphia. And I actually need to reach out to them to make sure I get all the logistics for that taken care of pretty soon. Willie Smith, keep pounding. Appreciate you, Willie. Hey, and real quick, I'm going to show you guys pictures that we captured yesterday at the game because I don't say this for any other reason than it's the absolute truth. We have the best photographer covering, I feel like, the NFL, absolutely without a doubt, the Carolina Panthers. And I am desperately trying to get the word out there more so people know to come to us and also see these photographs. Many times, if you see a great photograph circulating out there on the internet, it has come from our photographer, Patrick Snyder. So let me go ahead and share with you guys a few. And yeah, just some great pictures that we were able to capture from the game yesterday, which I think are beyond awesome. Bryce celebrating, being happy after he got his catch. Baker getting sacked. Tough little guy Baker is. Look at the red rifle in the background. Adam Thielen was that guy's he's good. I'm glad that he stayed around. Glad we didn't trade him. I don't know if there's any big reason why not, but I am definitely happy about it. Xavier Woods with the interception. Thielen on the did he catch it? Did he not catch it? We don't have enough cameras to review the replay, and yeah. So let me go ahead and drop some knowledge about this play right here. We'll go ahead and talk about this for a second. I see we got some comments coming, so we will absolutely, positively, 1,000% get into that. But Adam Thielen, this play right here, and this not catch. So what happened? So here's the thing, giving y'all some education. Two things that happened yesterday I'll give you some education on. One is normally there's 7 referees during the game, and we had a referee get hurt at the very beginning of the game. I actually saw him get carted off. I don't think he had to get carted off, but I think it was just a precautionary thing. Who's going to carry him off? He's not an athlete. Let's just take every precaution. But nevertheless, he was carted off. About after halftime, got the word that he was okay, definitely was not going to return. So normally, media does not have the opportunity to talk with officials. As you can imagine, highly protected people that call the game and trying to control the integrity and protect the integrity of the game. But in cases where there's something that happens significantly, we can, media, request, can we please talk to the referees? At which point, you're granted one person that is given that ability to talk to the refs. And that was Joe Person from The Athletic that did that yesterday, called a pool reporter. And they go and talk to the officials on behalf of the media. The results of that conversation that Joe had with with the referees, was that essentially there weren't enough angles to overturn it. The play was called as such based on what the referees saw. Did the fact that they were down one referee affect them? They said it did not. They have a process in which they practice during the offseason about people going down. And they said this crew had experienced it before, so it wasn't even the first time that they've had to deal with that situation. And they also have procedures in place to operate. I believe they call it a 6-man mechanic that they operate in. And so being down one man, referee said that didn't affect it. And the biggest thing was, because Adam bobbled the catch, he has to maintain as he goes down, makes contact. Referee said he didn't maintain that. So you go to replay. Replay is trying to see, okay, do we have an angle that shows that Adam, after he lands, he was in bounds and he made the catch. Did he maintain the catch? They didn't have an angle that says absolutely yes, he did. And therefore, they had to stick with the call on the play. Also of note, broadcasts have different cameras. I forget the exact number, but they said, of course, primetime games, Super Bowl game, playoff games, there's more cameras, there's more angles. You see it. They didn't have it yesterday. So that's the backstory, a little bit of information to help educate you on what happened yesterday with that call. You still may not like it, but hopefully that education there is of some value to somebody out there watching. All righty. I think we had a few more images. Let's go through a few more images from yesterday. Xavier Woods after the interception. Mike Evans playing defense and still making great catch. Bryce Young pregame. Bryce Young with the score. Again, if you want to see more pictures like this, I have a ton that I'll be putting up shortly. And just go over to Instagram. Follow us. Twitter handle, the Instagram handle is Charlotte Vibe, all one word. All right, B Stallion, what's going on? Hey, Chris, do you think Canales is having Bryce Young throw so much to see if Bryce Young can be the quarterback that Canales is willing to be the starter for the team in years to come? He didn't select him, so would want his guy. Let me get one graphic ready for you guys. That's an interesting take. Let me quickly do one thing here. What did we just play? Week 13? I know that was week 13 we just played. Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to get some information that looks like I'm struggling to get. Well, that's dumb. All right, so I was trying to get the week 13 pass chart for Bryce Young. Apparently, that's not available yet. And then also let me look at something else that I wanted to show. I'm coming to this question here in just a second. All right, so that's a little bit strange. But Sarah, that is what it is. All right, so B-Shine, thanks for your patience. I was trying to, again, find the charts that I normally put online from Bryce Young's passing from the game, and it's not available yet. Do I think he is having Bryce throw more so he can continue to evaluate? I never thought about that, but if he is, I think that's worth thinking about, right? Bryce threw the ball a lot yesterday. I don't have all these stats. I might have it right in front of me. Bryce threw the ball yesterday 46 times. I mean, that's just an enormous amount of times. 46 times. And almost threw for 300 yards. So, B-Style, you probably can see I'm thinking a lot here because I hadn't thought about that before. But again, now that you've brought that to my attention, I think it could be something to think about because Bryce certainly fell out of good standings with Canales early on, and then he had to bring him back, and then it seemed like he was, week to week, to where he's finally saying Bryce has shown us so much. And we didn't fall behind yesterday where you just needed to absolutely throw the ball. So, and Chuba's been a good running back. B-Side, and all I got to say is you might be on to something. I like that. I really like that comment. Thank you so much for chiming in. I will definitely digest that some more. And let me add that to my notes for something to talk about here and through the week. I will be in the locker room this week. All right, let's continue to rock on through these questions. Thank you guys so much. Oh, I missed a super chat? Man, and I missed it, man. I'm so sorry I missed a super chat. I was about to keep going and not even pay attention to the fact that I missed a super chat. From Knucklehead K, like, subscribe, become a member. Hope you got your thermals, 2 ski masks, 3 jackets, 2 toboggans, and 4 sets of gloves. P.S. I ate all I could. That was way better than truck stop food. Seeing my loved ones is always great. Hey, Knucklehead K, you gonna make sure we get the equipment that we need. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I wish I could bring it up real quick. I wasn't thinking to do so beforehand, but we started a GoFundMe probably about a month ago, and we got the biggest part, which is headsets. And I'm gonna tell you, those headsets for our pregame broadcast have been tremendously helpful on so many levels. Yesterday we had a full crew of myself, Rashad, Alex Zetlow from the Charlotte Observer join us, and all three of us could clearly hear each other, didn't have to yell. My voice wasn't tired after the show because you guys showed the support with your donations, and we're able to do that. So the link is still pinned in the comments for those who are able to and want to still contribute to help us get there. We still got about $500 more for one more piece of equipment that we need, but man, so helpful. So about this, so yesterday I figured it out. I'm not cold-natured, but I have circulation issues in my fingers and in my toes. Basically, once my hands get like a little cold, just keeping them warm or doing something like this will not help. They'll continue to get more white, less circulation, and go numb. I have to have direct heat on my hands if they get any taste of cold to them, right? Yesterday I figured it out, and I knew I figured it out because as I was going to the game and before I was standing out in the element, I was like, man, I think I might have figured this out because I'm hot. I'm like warm, trying to take this stuff off. Nevertheless, it worked perfectly yesterday. I have hand warmers, I have toe warmers, I have thermal socks, I have thermal long johns, and I have a hat. And I have a hand pouch to keep me warm. Those things combined, I'm sure it was about 35 degrees when I was doing the post game show yesterday. I was great. I was good. So yeah, we'll be in Philly. We'll be prepared and look forward to everybody joining in, watching that show. Hopefully you all will enjoy it quite a bit. Appreciate you so much, Knucklehead. So much appreciation. And let's continue to work through this. Let's get that win in Philly. It's all about pride and playing for next season. Taylor, I'm going to tell you this. I'm now a believer in the fact that the Carolina Panthers, I expect them to play competitive games every week. Based on what they've been doing, based on this progress, I really do expect a competitive game every single week. So when we play Philly, which I know on some shows today they were talked about like who's the best team in the NFL or who's the best team in in each division, and Philly/Detroit Lions were talked about as one of the two best teams, and I'm like, you know what? I'm for once not too worried about, oh man, this is about to be ugly. Now, could it be? Yeah, it could be. That's kind of like an any given Sunday type of deal. But on the average right now, the way this team is playing, I feel like somehow we're going to find a way to make it a competitive game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm excited for it to, returning home, so to say, for me, and also getting to see these guys play what will be by far their best team. You could say Kansas City as well is a great team, but Kansas City plays an interesting style right now, where the Philadelphia Eagles, you feel like they play a more dominant style, even though their record isn't as good as the Chiefs. So, yeah, I'm with you, Taylor. Let's get that win in Philly. All right, so number one says notifications in my when you go live, but it's no slight towards you, my guy. I've been with you this app for years. All love. So what are you wondering why you get the notifications and you want to turn it off? So here's what we're gonna say. Gonna help you out. So it looks like you're watching on Twitter, also known as X. Sorry, my old guy. Hadn't been able to change my vernacular on that. But if you're on Twitter, it's a good thing that you get notifications. I appreciate that you're getting the notifications, but in case you don't want to, what you have probably done is click on Charlotte Vibe on Twitter, and then you'll see some icons where you can turn on and off notifications. You just want to click that, turn it off, and that way you will stop receiving notifications. Hopefully that's your issue, but I appreciate and understand where you're coming from. All love you, appreciate the show. You just want to know what is going on. Why is Chris so special? I mean, I think I'm special, but that is what could be going on that allows you to see the notifications. Willie Smith says his team is trending in the right direction. Young players are buying into the Canales. Dave is figuring out the play calling. Keep the coaching staff for another year. This team is going to be hot. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are being figured out. Yesterday, I touched on the fact that Dan Morgan hasn't been talked about a lot. And I feel like we should talk about Dan Morgan because of the current rookie class that he's drafted are people that are contributing to the team. It's not just one guy or maybe two guys. There's 6 guys that are actually contributing that are either 4 of them are rookies, and then 2 of them are undrafted free agents that are contributing. Jalen Coker and Damani Richardson, 2 guys that are been starters at various games and significant contributors. So when you have the ability to have 6 rookies that are already been a substantial part of your game plan, that's how you get some long-term sustained success. like big success because those guys don't have these huge contracts. And you can kind of put some other pieces around them if you need to in free agency, or just continue to draft well and just, save some money. I'm sure David Tepper's not upset or wouldn't hesitate to save some money. But yeah, things absolutely seem to be going in the right direction. I think it's 5 games now that we've had that have all been competitive. It started when Bryce came back. Let me just look at the schedule so I won't miss talk here. I think it would have been starting with the Saints, which I was scared about that game. Oops, I went too far. No, Bryce started in Denver, not the Saints. Bryce started in Denver. We lost that game by 2 touchdowns. And then since, we had a 1-point game that we won, a 3-point game that we won, 3-point game that we lost, and now another 3-point game that we lost. So 4 games out of 5 basically took 1 game to kind of get going. We have been playing one possession, daggone nearly just field goal possession games with Bryce Young at quarterback and with this coaching staff in place. So, yeah, I think things are continuing to get figured out, Willie. I agree 100% that we are moving in the right direction. Coach Canales is doing his thing. We'll see what Dan Morgan can do this offseason. I tell you, since it's too cold in Canada right now. Yeah, but you're prepared for it, I'm sure. You got the triple fat goose feather jacket on and keeping warm, but I'm sure it's extremely cold. Yes, on passport or passport travel card. All right. I don't normally travel with my passport. What about, we got the thing called Real ID that you needed to in order to travel on planes that are coming. I got a Real ID. Will the Real ID work, or I absolutely got to have my passport? Let me know. Yes, Chris, you have to have a passport to go to Canada. All right. I don't think we have any more games that are going to be near the Canadian border. Philly, Tampa, Atlanta. No, we don't have any more games near the Canadian border. And I feel like we've played them all that are now near the Canadian border. I'm curious now. So let's see. Seattle, Washington, not that far from Vancouver, Canada. And then we had, Detroit is extremely close, probably the closest you could be for an NFL team and still be in America. They're not too close to Toronto, or it looks like maybe this place called London, Canada. And then Buffalo. So Buffalo was a lot closer to Toronto. And yeah, gosh darn it. Missed opportunities, Ron Rivera. I got some missed opportunities. I should have been in Canada by now. And I don't even know if we're going to. All right, so I'm super curious. I'm going to get back on track. Taking your questions here about our opponents for next year, if we're going to have a game that's near Canada. I'm curious, man. Let's see. So next year, as of right now, we know we will have road games at Arizona, Atlanta, New England. Oh man, I learned a lesson about traveling to New England that I will put into place next year. New Orleans, New York. I feel like we play in New York every daggone year. Does anybody else feel that way? Like we play in New York other than the NFC South stadiums, I really feel like the MetLife Stadium is the stadium that I know like the back of my hand because I've been there so many times. But anyway, we play New York, San Francisco, Tampa. Yeah, so the full schedule isn't out for who those opponents will be, but it doesn't look like we're going to be near Canada. All right, I'm going to stay focused, get back to your questions here. What's going on, Leonard Kowalski? We got a member in the house. What's going on, Ali Bodrick? Appreciate your membership and support of the channel. Thank you so much. That photo of Tommy Tremble you shared on Twitter was incredible. Instant football card. Thank you. I tell you, we got the best photographer. We had the absolute best photographer by far. What's going on, Antonio McClanahan? Appreciate you. All right, so just got word. Sorry. The link to call in was not working. That link to call in is now working for anybody that was trying to call in. My bad, and want to do that. Do you guys see the link for the GoFundMe account? Do you guys see that pinned in the comments by chance? Let me know. Hopefully, our defense can stop Saquon Barkley. He's a beast. Ah, why are you gonna tell me that, Taylor? Because when you say that, now I think back to my comments of saying like, I know we're playing the top team or one of the top teams, but I'm not like, oh, worried. Saquon Barkley though, yeah, sheesh, that is a beast, and our run defense is horrific. Um, Maybe we can put 8 in the box, and some nickel or something to try to make Jalen Hurts beat us. You're right. You're right. All right, let me go ahead and get to this call that's coming in here. Before I get to this call, I'm gonna answer it, and then just remind everybody as you go to call in. We got to get one more new caller. I love the people that call in regularly, so that is absolutely no slight to our regulars that call. But I need one more new caller to come in and join the regulars that call it. It's short, it's sweet. You can have a comment, you can have a question. As long as you don't curse, it's pretty much you can say whatever you want. So, link is in the description. For those on YouTube, that's where the link is, that want to join us. And let me also go ahead and turn on my headphones and remind you that you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes. And once your 2 minutes are up, that's not a bad sound. I could have went hardcore, but I went with a nice little. So if you hear that, time's up. Let's go ahead and have, come on, computer. Oh, there we go. Thomas Frisbee, what's going on, man?
What's up, Chris? Hey, seeing you being cold in Charlotte, I'm like shaking my head, dude. Come on. I mean, that 40 something degrees, I wish it was 40 something degrees. It's been stuck in the 20s or 30 and wind, and I would have killed to have almost 50-degree weather yesterday, but
I did
the
good though,
wind,
Tom. I wasn't
I know.
shivering and like I was like
Well,
calm and relaxed. I thought that was my best cold weather performance to date.
I got to give you a hard time, but us Midwesterners living in Ohio, we have one thing. If the wind's not bad, 35, 40 degrees sounds wonderful. So as long as the wind's not bad, it's balmy. It's warm or where you get cold when it's 45, 50 degrees in the middle of winter and you have your sunroof open or moonroof. So that's when you know.
That
But
sounds intriguing.
yeah, but it's a Midwestern thing. But you should never give 2 minutes to a teacher. I mean, we just talk, but I mean, I'll make it quick. But you know, I guess after yesterday's loss, I think I was more encouraged with last week's loss. I was like, okay, yeah, they played the Chiefs really well, but yesterday's game they had it in the bag after winning most of the game. But I look at it this way: Bryce, we can put to bed this whole. Is he the starter? Canales, I don't know if he's trying to throw off the opposition. Quit being cute. Just name him. Second of all, why not run the ball? I get it. I get it. Chuba fumbled. But I'm talking about during the game. It's like they stopped going to the run. It's like you had a lead. Keep running the ball. I mean, Brooks was doing well. Hubbard was doing fine up until he fumbled. But I mean, I don't think we should go overkill with Hubbard fumbling. I mean, he hasn't done it in a long time. I get it. Game's on the line, but he's proven that he's been solid. But I think now we're to the point in fandom used to sucking. Now they're turning a corner. Now we're at the point to where I wouldn't say angry, but it's like, okay, we're starting to see the progress. We expect more. The progression's there. So that gives me some optimism, but I mean, I don't like calling for people's jobs, but I know Avero can only do with what he's got, and it's like you're trying to make a dinner, but you only have 1/3 of the ingredients. But sooner or later, that 3-4 gotta go. I mean, but I get it. You lost D Brown, and that's like your anchor right there. But and not having Death, but if they have Death, but I don't know who would you bring in. I don't know if Canales is the type to go get somebody from Tampa. I saw somebody's throwing out there Sala. I don't know if Sala would want to do that. And I saw somebody keep mentioning Wilkes on Twitter. Can we stop with the Wilkes thing? He is not coming back. He is
No
not
way.
coming back. You do not want any bad blood. I mean, let's move on. That was 3 years ago. Move on. We have a coach now. So, but yeah, I don't know about Philly, but you know what? If they make it a game, great. But that's all I got.
Hey, appreciate you, Thomas.
Hey, you have a great night, Chris. Talk to you later.
All right, see you. So, yeah, I didn't write all of this down, so Thomas, hopefully I won't forget anything as I quickly regurgitate. Is that the proper word? Does that sound bad? Adjectives. Nevertheless, as I summarize what Thomas talked about there, Steve Wilkes coming back. I haven't heard anything about that. I absolutely agree with Thomas. Man, not as long as David Tepper's the owner would he come back to Carolina. There's no way that he comes back after getting passed over for the head coaching job in Carolina, that he would come back. None. Um, in terms of Ivero, I'm still not on to get rid of Ivero. I know several people have been, but yeah, the way that the team got beat up during the last part of the game, with 30 seconds to go, you don't like it. But you could also say it was mostly runs, and that's just what we haven't been able to stop. So it kind of is par for the course, and I feel like that's a personnel thing that we don't have those guys, the right guys here to stop that. But certainly was disappointed to see them come back and score to go into overtime and then ultimately win in overtime. I think there's one more thing he talked about. One more thing. Can I remember? Chuba, and getting away from the run. Yeah, I don't know, but I believe it was Taylor earlier that mentioned this comment, and you can go ahead and leave a comment in the comments, Thomas. But maybe Dave is wanting him to throw the ball a lot so that he can continue to evaluate him, so that he could say, yeah, I definitely want to continue on with this guy. I had never thought about it from that angle before, but when I heard that earlier tonight, I said, that is worth pondering a little bit more, because all these attempts that he had the other day, again, how many attempts did he have the other day? This guy had 46 attempts. That to me could sound like it's plausible that, yeah, Dave wants to see him throwing the ball. Nevertheless, who do we have here? Shaqaid,
Hey,
how are you doing, man? Thanks for being a loyal person that comes in. Hey, don't start yet because my camera just went out. And so I got to change this really quickly. So,
if Arrow told me that.
you know what? You're going to love this. I'm going to give you like 20 seconds to talk about whatever you want while I get my camera fixed. Go.
So I'm guessing if Arrow Chris turn your camera off, Chuba turn your camera off, Eddie P turn your camera off. Just like they turn off the links for all of us to call in. That I think definitely what happened. They all turn it off, so we wouldn't call Charlotte Vibe call in tonight. And I'm standing by that statement. No money back on this statement.
Now, I hope you enjoyed that. I have no idea what you were saying.
I was saying
Hopefully, you didn't have
Vero,
any FCC violations, even though you can't have that happen on YouTube coming my way. But I just gave you the show for like 30 seconds, man.
no FCC violation, but But I did say that Rivera, ADP, Schuba, turn off the camera. Also, they didn't allow us to call in. That is guarantee no money back. But anyway, you talked about the defense, which you mentioned they lost the game in running game. Yeah, absolutely. Which, again, last year we had more talented. We couldn't stop the run. Same thing yesterday. Now, here's my frustration. I called in last year, previous last game of the season against Tampa Bay Buccaneers with your former co-host. The Panthers allowed Tampa Bay to drive in, get a field goal before the end of the first half. Why? They played prevent defense. Yesterday, the only second left in the game, 3 timeout. You need 30 out to defense, and you play prevent. The first play, Tampa Bay got it to nearly midfield. If you put pressure on Baker Mayfield, he probably doesn't convert and the Panthers win. So that is number one. Number two, we left too many points off the board. And I honestly don't understand with Canales. First couple of weeks used to be aggressive with his play callings. Now he doesn't like to take the chance. 14 inches instead of going for it. He decided to kick a field goal. ADP missed it. Second chance, 4th and 1. Decided to kick a field goal. ADP missed it. Now, the second field goal, we did get lucky because Tampa got terrible field position and Panthers scored the touchdown later on, a couple of plays later. But you have to go for it. We left points off the balls, and first and goal, second and goal, third quarter, we run the ball. And then Bryce on the final throw overthrew Leggett. So, yeah, it's encouraging, but enough with more victories. Yeah, it's a young team, but you win now. You build for the future. So they have to know how to finish games because yesterday we were the better team. And as Dennis Green used to say, the Bears are who we thought they were. We let them off the hooks. The Buccaneers are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook because we were the better team yesterday. Record-wise, you know it.
You just gonna stop? Was that perfectly at the end of your sentence?
I mean, we have to know how to finish games and win games, and Overo can join Charlotte Vibe as the new co-host.
Thank you so much, man.
Anytime.
All right. So, Shaked, and again, we got like maybe 10 more minutes left on the broadcast. So I'm fingers crossed, you know, hit that link in the description, phone, computer. Love to have one new person come and join the show. Otherwise, I'll continue to work through the comments. But Shaked not liking the defensive calls there on the prevent late in the game. You know, I think most defensive coordinators are going to play something like that, but certainly you could talk about, well, what kind of prevent was it? Was it everybody 20 yards off the ball? Was it guys just, what did that prevent look like? Because I think you do want to make sure that nothing just goes deep and they get the home run and you don't even have the opportunity to hope that they miss a field goal. So I hear you there for sure. Leaving, one thing that you talked about that I haven't really paid attention to and I appreciate it was the fact that, and I'm going to make a note here because again, I'm going to be in the locker room this week, want to research some things. The fact that Shaked talked about the aggressiveness of Dave Canales with the play calling not being as aggressive as it was at one point. I think that's true. I do remember, man, and I'm not sure if it was when Andy was playing, but I feel like earlier on in the season, and I do feel like it was once Andy got in the game. Yeah, because I remember thinking, okay, this is showing that he has more confidence in his offense because he's putting them out there and he's being aggressive because he feel like they can continue to play. And now he's gotten away from that. So that's a good question. That's a really good question, really good point to further think about. And leaving points on the table, absolutely, we did leave way too many points, from the field goals missed to even the field goals made, but we were in the red zone and couldn't score. Not having a good ratio of times being in the red zone and scoring. So really good stuff, really good points. Appreciate you calling in, man. Look forward to you calling in again in the future. Glad we got that link fixed for everybody, that it wasn't working. Adam Thielen got Jericho Cotreed. I like that. I like that, Leonard. That is a good one. I'm going to figure out how to use that. I'm going to post a picture tonight. You guys are giving me good content tonight. I appreciate it. That's why we have these shows. I'm trying to type it correctly how you put it. Jericho Cotchery. That's hilarious. So yeah, I don't have the video ready for you guys, but Sam Franklin video surfaced of him trying to get at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers players coming in their tunnel down their locker room. And this is just a thought that I had. And I'm not saying none of these guys are tough by any means, because I remember yesterday watching the linemen for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go out, and I'm like, gee whiz, these guys are all walking out of here looking like brick walls, and they're humans. So these guys definitely, got some testosterone in them, right? But that you're not about to go down the tunnel without your players and fight another guy by his locker room and expect to get out of there unscathed. So I think he was just wanting to mouth off and get in the face. It was. Why would you do that? Go down to their locker room to fight one of their guys? But digressing from there, no. Dave Canales said that he did have a meeting with Sam Franklin about it. They got it straightened out, and hopefully you won't see that again. And knowing that that's not the kind of behavior that the team likes to exude. But yeah, not smart on many cases. Dave wants a guy that can put the team in position to win. Bryce has been, so who cares if he drafted him or not? Yeah. I think Bryce is going to be with us. I really don't think that Bryce. I mean, he'd have to fall apart some kind of horrific way, and I just don't see that happening. I feel like he could have a good game, but he's got his confidence back where he's just not going to have this relapse, so to say, and be the Bryce that has us all just terrified about what's going on. Let's see here. Appreciate your comment, though, Solid. Just a trick shot. What's going on? I think if there were some better calls by the refs, we should have won that game. Yeah, I hear you. Leonard, I'm glad you're doing okay today, because you did say that the game yesterday ripped your heart out, and it, not too many times where you catch a lot of the media and journalists. I wish I could paint the picture for you guys that we're in there press box, we're all working and we're all talking about the story angles and what we're saying, and people are already getting their stories together, and then the game changes, and you basically everybody's just like, well, there that goes. All right, now I got to quickly come up with something new to report on this game and get the story out there and talk about this team and recap it. I didn't see it coming. Not to say that I can always predict things, but I did not see that ending coming, and it was tough. It was definitely a tough one, and we'll have another chance at some redemption this Sunday in Philadelphia. Darrell, one of our members. Appreciate you. Again, always got to give some special acknowledgement and love to our members. the more angry Shakad gets, the camera shakes. I felt the enthusiasm. I didn't think about that. I forgot to ask him because I had my camera go out about why his camera was shaking so much. I mean, phones these days have stabilized. Shakad, were you that angry? Because all phones have stabilizers in them and yours was shaking a lot, man. Are you that angry? Good catch, though. Good catch. I'm going to put this up here just a mess for Shakad. Taylor wants us to keep Evero, just got to get better defensive player. If not, maybe Chicago offers him a head coaching job. Yeah, so I could be wrong. During our show yesterday, Alex from the Charlotte Observer did mention that he doesn't see Evero being on the hot seat, but in terms of him not being here next year, it would probably be more so. This is Alex that I'm talking about, stating that it's more likely to be because he's going to get a head coaching opportunity than it would be that the Carolina Panthers firing him. Yeah. So, no, I don't have stabilizing on. Every phone has unless you got like an iPhone 5. But I guess when you're doing video like that, it may not stabilize it the same. But yeah, you were pretty shaky. You were pretty shaky that time. Hold your phone better, man. Hold your phone. You only have one job. Hold the phone and talk. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. Let me end with this because you all were talking about me being cold. Here's your boy working yesterday in the cold. Sorry, this doesn't fit perfectly on the screen. Let me see if I can stretch it out a little bit. There you go. That was me yesterday, and it was like 35 degrees, and I'm smiling, no nose running. I was good. I was good. So, yeah, hats off. Again, hat tip to our photographer, Patrick Snyder. This week's agenda, players are off tomorrow. There could be some transactions that take place. If that happens, just look for YouTube Shorts or check it out on Twitter. I'll update you there about the latest. And then there is a interview that will be hopefully with Eddie Pinheiro. Again, full disclaimer on that. It's not been I's dotted, T's crossed, but I feel pretty good about it, so that's why I'm letting you guys know. And then we'll be in Philadelphia this weekend covering the game. Have not missed not one game this season from the preseason through now and including Germany. So, man of the people out here working hard for you guys. What's up with my camera going out repeatedly tonight? All right. I have no idea why the camera just went out. But, man of the people, I don't just say it. I do everything I can to continue to make our broadcast good, have our content great, and cover this team nonstop, whether they're doing good, whether they're doing bad. If that's something that you appreciate, hit the like button, subscribe, consider telling a friend about us to help us continue to grow. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.